Peace, everybody. Welcome to the AMF show. I'm Big Ra, your host, with my other co-host, my man, the street ball legend,
Kev Young.
We got two guests in the house tonight. We have a politician, and he got too many titles. So we have an actor and film director. So yeah, the man of many hats. All right, any rhyme too. All right. So y'all can introduce yourselves.
It's good. Peace. It's Edwin Freeman. You know me, I'm in the house, Almighty Force.
All right.
My name is Latoya LR. Thank you for having me.
Okay. And Latoya the Great.
Yes, Latoya the Great, aka
Latoya the Great, right? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. Before we get into your stories, just a few announcements. The Developmental League, they're going to be practicing this weekend. The D League is going to start on December 14th. As of right now, the Developmental League is going to start on December 14th. We're still doing the coat and clothing drive. So on Saturday, between 12 and 5, you can drop off any clothes or coats that you have at Middle School 226, 121 Rockaway Boulevard. If you want to just call to meet up with somebody from the AMF family, you can call 646-820-6722. That's 646-820-6722. So now, we have two guests here, so we're going to get into both of your stories. Before we start, one more thing. Shout out to the AMF family. Shout out to the Bars and Hoops family. Stills the Great. Shout out to my son, Javon. Shout out to the Ask You dancers. And thank you for everybody that's tuning in. We appreciate you all. So we're gonna start with my brother, Edwin Freeman. Okay? So me and Edwin Freeman, we go back a ways, right? We're gonna talk about how we initially met each other. All right.
Same hood, same community.
Same community. Same community.
Same upbringing.
Right. And I didn't even know the brother was in the acting. Right? Yeah. So we watching the Notorious movie. Yeah. And then we see my man here. Yeah. So talk about that a little bit. Because I didn't even know that you was in the acting, and then I see you in the Notorious movie playing. And rest in peace, Mr. C.
No doubt.
All right.
You mentioned when I was young, I was dabbling in music, and from there I met certain people in the music industry, and they was transitioning to acting, to the film. I always wanted to do that. So one of the cats he was doing directed DVD movies at the time. You had like blockbuster videos and all that. And we met. And he was like, "Yo, got this idea for a movie. I want you to be in. Let's meet later on." It was like a Tuesday. We met in Manhattan proper, and we chopped it up. And that weekend we was filming. And from there, I just stayed with it. You know what I mean? I had moved to Atlanta for a while. I was pursuing music, messing with T.I., Little John, and all these people's on. Rest in peace, my man Big Phil and my man Clay Evans from Grand Hustle. You know what I mean? They kind of took me under their wings. We was putting music out independently down there. And I kept pursuing the acting thing, but I came, I was trying to, that was before Tyler Perry. There was really no acting scene in Atlanta. And I was trying to, tap into that down there. It just wasn't there. So my choices for that was either go to LA or come back to New York. I came back to New York. I was auditioning. I got a role for like a special skill role. I was playing football. It was the Beatles movie was based on their music called Across the Universe. So I got cast for that. I got a union contract, and that was, basically the rest was history. Kept auditioning. I got Notorious a few years later. Then Marvel's Luke Cage, and But you know.
So you saw him.
Luke Cage. Oh shit.
He played. You saw it, right? He the one that put me on the Luke Cage.
Yeah, I was watching it.
Season one, episode 2-7.
He played. Remember they had the young Luke Cage.
Young Pop.
Yeah.
You ain't know?
Shit. No, I didn't know.
I ain't gonna lie, like, that was real big. That was real big for me.
Yeah, man. Cause Luke Cage is big.
That's Disney. So I was doing like comic cons and online. It was crazy for me. And
It was in both seasons.
Not just season 1 of Luke Cage. Episode 2 and 7.
Okay.
So we got a petition online trying to bring that back.
Yeah, Luke Cage. You know, we old when we like Luke Cage.
But it was old school though. That's
we was checking it out.
You know what I mean?
We was checking it out.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, we talk about, we normally do icebreakers, right?
Yeah.
But you know, we just gonna jump right into it since, you know, it's two people.
Right.
And then at the end, you know, then we could like just chop it up, you know, and talk about, because it's like it's Bars and Hoops Radio. So normally it's like about basketball and music. But we just gonna jump right into this, right? So, you know, I went up to the public library on Jamaica Avenue, right?
Yeah.
And then they said to go downstairs. So I go downstairs, and then I see that you had something going on down there. Yeah. You know, talking about. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Like you, come on, man. You my uncle, man.
Yeah.
You know about. You know.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. You invited me, man.
Yeah.
You invited me. No. So we really talking about it, but we really talking about it, right? Here, when I worked on something Boulevard.
Go into,
I'm gonna go into that. When I worked on something, he was one of my summer youth.
So look, beat this. Yeah, real talk. So
real talk, and I knew his mom's.
Yeah, so we go over there.
Yeah.
So just like everybody else, like I mean, I was born in Brooklyn.
I was born in Brooklyn too.
First, I was at to an area called is in St. Albans called the Square, off of Farmers and Martell at 122nd Avenue, 191st.
All right.
That's where I know Stills and all them from.
Oh, okay.
We went to school together and all that. But then my mom's we moved from Brooklyn there with it was a 2-family home. So my pops and it was all of us.
Okay.
And my moms and pops, and then after that they got their own crib on the south side.
Okay.
And so I moved over there, but my mom's kept me and my siblings enrolled in school over District 29 because they felt it was just better schools.
Okay.
PS15 and all that.
Okay.
System. And so you know, like my backyard was connected to Fat Cat's backyard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I used to hop the fence, play with his nephews, Lionel and Tony and all that. You know what I mean? So outside of my house and my upbringing, I seen a lot of things, a lot of trapping, a lot of glips and gams.
On both sides of the
fence. Yeah. The AJ, I'm off the street from AJ.
Yeah, the street from AJ.
And we had Linden in the branch, so everything is there.
And it was crazy, right?
It was crazy, man.
Because he was working with me on something.
Yeah.
And then I see him in the park.
Then I'm in the park.
I see him in the park on
Sunday. We doing basketball. That was a haven for you know what I mean? That was giving us something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, I was outside, you know what I mean? I got caught up a little something early, young, 14. I got, you know, trouble, whatever. But you know what I mean? That was my first legitimate job was summer youth.
Okay.
And I worked with you at the Human Resource Center on Stockton Boulevard at the time.
I just became a supervisor.
Yeah, so my first day there, I went, you know what I mean? I met the brother and all that. And he's like, yo, what up? Shook my hand and all that. He said, let me show you how this go, man. He said, listen, man. Come in, it's gonna be some mail. You could take it. He said, walk with me. Went down in the mail room. Said you could. This is where you put the mail to go out. Sometimes we have mail, pick it up, come upstairs. He like, sometimes I need you to you know, make some copies and stuff like that. And then he just showed me it was like a little break room. He said, other than that, you can chill. I was like, all right, that's what's up. Like,
we just having fun.
You know what I mean? But then I went home. Like you said, my mom's used to work there before she went to the department to the board of ed at the time. So she like, how's your first day? I told her and all that. So she's like, yeah, who you work? I was like, Miss guy named Miss Ronald Moore, like a cool guy, like, you know. She's like, why y'all bro? Like, we work together and all that. So you know, crazy, my second day I came and told him. Yeah. It was all love. It was all love anyway.
It was all it had been love ever since.
Yeah.
It's been love ever since.
We always been in touch.
You know? So we broke that. So that was the icebreaker today.
Yeah.
All right.
No doubt.
So the piece that you did, modern day slavery.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit.
modern day slavery. So modern day slavery. So one of my friends, he had did like 20 years in jail, and but while he was in there, he was from Brooklyn, from Brownsville. He grew up same building, Howard houses. But he like, he redeemed, he turned his life around, and he studied like the optical trade. And upon release, he opened up like, first he got like a kiosk in the mall in Long Island, but then he found a spot downtown Brooklyn, like Nether Street, by the Barclay, not too far from there. And he had a eyeglass, luxury optical spot. And I thought his story was, real compelling. It was an amazing story.
Right.
So we got together to do a documentary on that, and I direct and produce that. But part of doing that, we went to Wallkill Correctional Facility, and we worked with she was the superintendent, the warden at the time. Her name was Catherine Jacobson. She loved the idea. She let us come in there and do what we need to do. But the day we was like the whole time we was in there, like, they treated us like prisoners, bro. They want to I understand we gotta go to security. I get that part, but they like, yo, y'all can't stand there. They talking crazy to us, all that.
Right.
And then, but we got to interview some of the people who was running the programs that they was in, some of the brothers that was in there, you know what I'm saying? And we just realized that it's a business, bro. It's like a factory. Because they making glasses, but the prison got contracts. They selling this. They making money.
Right.
And these brothers making like $7 a week or $1 or whatever they making. So it's just crazy.
Like,
so we like, we gotta do it. Like, this is just, we gotta expose this, man.
Right.
And then we came across this UN initiative. Basically what it was talking about was like how blacks or African Americans were like, we the minority in this country, but we the majority in the prison system.
Right.
So, but then that was part of it, and the other part was how much money they generate. And you know what I'm saying, Core Craft and all that, Bob Barker, So anyway, billions.
Yeah.
So we just went into that, and we had modern day slavery. And you said we premiered that at the Queens Public Library, section on Jamaica Avenue, a big one.
Right.
And it was packed in there, and it was good. But it was good. That was our plan, was to run it through the film festival circuit, and but COVID hit. So
right.
Kind of put it. But it did good though. From there, people been calling me all over the country to this day, and to this day I help people.
And then because we was talking about that before, about like how modern, like how slavery and how they could use,
But you better be careful, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Be careful, man.
Oh no, I was on and off. Did
you see the guy at United Healthcare?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That could be me.
Be careful, bro.
Yeah.
It came from the back on him.
Yeah,
that was crazy. They do something.
Some real haters.
I'm gonna do
some real haters.
Yeah,
there's some real haters out here. But
that got me, for me.
You're exposing that industry. That's a prison industry.
Yeah. That's an industry.
There's a billionaires on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
ain't trying to tell you.
I
don't want to see that happen to you, though.
You know what I mean? I ain't scared.
Yeah.
But I ain't trying to be a rabble rouser. I'm just trying to create good film projects that
kind of
awaken. That's it.
Awaken people, yeah. Because until I saw your project, I didn't really look at it that way. You get what I'm saying? Until I sat there and I was like, wow, that's like, and then you think about it, wasn't how they say there was no prisons during slavery?
No.
And then after slavery, they had all these prisons.
Well, that was the thing. I think it was 13 of them. It was like we'll free the slaves. So slavery is over except for if you get caught for convicted of a crime. I'll see you right back in.
It says in the Constitution too, except for being arrested or whatever. Yeah. That's their mindset, man.
That's their mindset.
Yeah.
Corporate America.
Okay.
That's what it is, man.
So this other project that you did more recently, the Essence of Hip Hop.
Oh yeah. Beats and Lyrics, the Essence of Hip Hop. That's basically like the 50th anniversary of hip hop. It's coming up, and we wanted to do something and come together, like, being New York City natives, like, because it was just natural to us. And it started here and it went worldwide, still going. Well, we just want to, tell our story, how it affected us. You know what I'm saying? And I got some people, my guy who's in there, my boy from Blase, my boy Sadat X from Grand
Blase,
Nubian,
I was
my
listening
boy
to it
Sadat
today,
X from
yeah.
Grand Nubian, my man DJ Kali Bond, he's from the Juice Crew. He works. Matter of fact, they got Golden Ever Ready on WBLS. Him and Marley Marl. He came in from the. So it was beats and lyrics. So it was from the perspective of rappers and beat makers. You know what I'm saying? And just tell our story and celebration of hip hop. So,
all right,
we did that. Yeah.
You're a busy brother, yo.
Yeah.
Why you finding time, man?
I don't know.
Oh, that we ain't finished yet.
Yeah.
So now you're doing something with schools now, right?
Yeah.
I'm not too.
So
I just saw
from
something.
there, I created a curriculum called Hip Hop Harmony based on hip hop. Well, for last school calendar year was basically like the anthropology of hip hop, and we I piloted it. I was working in a school in Manhattan called Innovative. Was it Innovative Charter High School in Manhattan, and doing these workshops with the kids, and basically what is based on reform. So it's using the restorative circles model, and we form a circle, or we go around in a circle, and is everybody just tell their story about when did they first become familiar with hip hop and what it means to them, who's their favorite. So the whole objective is to make everybody feel seen, heard, and respected. You know what I mean? It's all inclusive.
And then and you have it. You're doing it in a school in Queens.
So that was last year. So we launched it this year in my. So it was, after that, what I did over the summer, I sent out proposals to all the New York City high schools, Queens first, and the first school that responded was the high school I went to, Hillcrest High School. So they hit me, and I went there. That's crazy. So my first time back in those halls, I'm coming for something like that because keep it real with you, I didn't graduate from. I got kicked. I was a terror in there. I got kicked out. They sent me around the corner of the satellite. That was like a 6.
Yeah, I saw that satellite school.
Yeah, they sent me. I was there like every bit of 2 weeks. I'll see everybody from Round Away, Rock Away, Spoon, all these niggas, everybody in there. I'm like, yo, I ain't going. But then I left there. I went to Queensboro and did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I went to Queensboro.
Yeah, but it was good. But it was good coming to, and it still is to school that I attended in the 90s. So everything 360. But this is what I'm coming for now.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
What's the ages?
What's that?
Ages for what?
Grade 9 to 12. So
Yeah, it's a high school.
Yeah.
It's a high school.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
What's the ages?
13 to 18.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's high. So it's for high schools.
Okay.
But I've been getting calls for middle, junior high schools and all that because they think it's a great idea. So we're going to expand
So-
2025.
So my son, he do a mentoring program.
Yeah.
So it'd be great if you all could participate with that.
Yeah. Where you at?
Yeah, it's right up there to 26.
Oh, he right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he do like a mentoring program. I don't think he's gonna start it maybe the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
But he do it like every
Same thing.
year.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to connect.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, let's go to the queen over here. All right.
This is my new.
She's running for city council.
It's all about right now.
Yes.
So we gonna
So
tell her story and tell us what it is.
okay.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Well, right now,
This is
I'm working with the sister." So he said, I want to bring her on
No doubt.
to tell her, and then
I'll come back. I'm a friend of the station of the show. You know that.
Yeah. Right. So, right now, what are you doing right now, Miss Legrand?
So currently I do have a nonprofit organization. It's called Projects to Projects.
Right. I was
And
going to ask you about that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was going to ask you about Projects to Projects.
Okay, so I won't go
Okay.
into it right now.
No. But you brought it up. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so
Pretty interesting.
thank you. So Projects to Projects, we provide services, access to services for people who live in underserved communities, such as people who live in NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority, also known as the projects, foster care, shelters, and we advocate for children with IEP and autism. So the mission, the goal behind Projects to Projects is to bring communities, organizations, and political government agencies and all agencies together so that everyone has access to better our communities. The reason I specifically focus on those areas is because all those areas are a part of my life. And a lot of things I had to overcome through those agencies and through those communities, I had to overcome it by myself. And I realized that everything that they have tied in together is access. And a lot of people don't know how to, navigate the system to get access for help. So that's why I created Projects to Projects.
Okay.
And I also am the education chair for Community Board 12. And I currently work in the New York State Assembly. And I'm running for City Council, District 28.
Yeah, she been good.
Yes. But they all come together. They all work together. I make sure it all works together.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you the area that you're covering now.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is the exact area? Because we're from the South,
Okay.
Yeah. So but
right. So I'll let you. He wants to know what District 28 covers. Right. Yes. So it covers right. So we District 28 covers from Liberty Avenue on the side of York College on the side going towards Guy R. Brewer and up towards the North Conduit. So District 28 consists of South Jamaica houses, Baisley houses, Rochdale Village, South Ozone Park, and Richmond Hill. So it goes over to Guy R. Brewer, a little into Springfield and Farmers now because of the rezoning, all the way up to the North Conduit and all the way over past the Van Wyck into Richmond Hill and down on Liberty Avenue. Yeah. But so everyone has an idea. Yeah, so
we went over there recently. I see some dudes. She introduced me, and they turn like I know him. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like this right here. Like, my backyard.
How did the turkey drive go?
The turkey drive was amazing. We actually served more people this year than last year, especially since a lot of migrants are in our district. So we had to up the ante and get more turkeys in so that we can provide people with turkeys for their families over the holiday season, even if they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. But we still know that children are out of school at this time. And
food is food.
Right. Food is food. And there is a food insecurity in our district. So I'm thank God that he uses me as a tool to provide and be a solution to the people who are in need.
Right. That was great.
It feels good to give.
It does. Right. It does. It truly fills a void.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there was a time when I was on the other side. So I make sure I give back.
Can I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Right. Or wait, one better. You gonna finish that? You have the free school lunch. You gonna finish that?
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
You're a little younger than us, right?
Yeah.
You remember Sundew drinks and stuff like that? Yeah. We got some real hood shit, man.
Yeah.
They don't have the good stuff anymore.
I was about to say that.
The block of cheese.
Yeah. They don't have that anymore. That was the mac and cheese. That was the cheese for the mac and cheese.
That's one thing I'll give the government. The cheese was great.
Okay, so I see that the projects. I see that y'all doing a lot of great things, and us personally, we ran a basketball tournament, for years. We started in the 90s. We ran. So we saw the need. Our need. We saw the need because of things that was going on in the neighborhood. We saw that we had to connect with the younger people in our neighborhood, so they could understand who we are. So try to bring everybody together. And it was successful for many years. I stopped doing it probably in 2010. My son, he picked it up and he's continuing it now. And he do his program in the area that you cover.
Nice. Okay.
So, hopefully,
Yeah, we can connect. I also partner a lot with Community Affairs and NYPD. They do have a basketball team as well, girls basketball team. But as you said, you have to give the children something to look forward to. You can't You can't let their minds be mindless. You have to give them. Yes, those are idle minds, and we don't want no negative playgrounds in there. So I try to. Yeah. So I run a drone program out of South Jamaica Houses Cornerstone there. I run a drone program there to get the children into STEM. Also, I have a mobile library there to increase the literacy rates in our community and in our district. So what I'll do is I'll put books that they like of their interest inside the library, inside the mobile library, and then they have to exchange a book. A lot of times the children cannot, they're not able to exchange a book. So I just make sure that it's always packed with books. And shout out to Brooklyn Book Bodega, because they make sure that we receive books to constantly put in for our children. Because I feel like this: if a child reads a book that they like, then it propels them to read the book that they need to read for their own necessity. Yeah.
Not just a child.
Right.
No,
Even
but-
adults, right?
but-
Is to get you started. Right.
Listen, when I had to do book reports when I was in high
Mhm.
school, they had to stop me because I was doing all my book reports on Donald Goines books. I was doing all my book reports on Donald Goines books. They had to stop me.
Y'all
They had to
familiar
go.
with Donald Goines?
No, but I can only
Donald Goines.
imagine, because the way he's laughing, I can only imagine what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
but check out Donald Goines. He was
I will.
he's a great
Mhm.
he's a great hood author.
Oh, I understand.
All right. So I was doing books, or I was doing my book reports on this until they stopped me. When
Right.
they stopped me, they said, "Look, we're gonna give you some books to do." But
But it propels you to read what
I
you
did.
need to read. Right?
look, I was an honor roll
Exercise
student
that
most of
memory,
my
man, that muscle.
Yes.
I was an honor roll student most of my
All right.
Here we
Moving
go.
right
I'm sure you
on.
didn't have a you didn't have a
Moving right
choice.
on.
I'm sure you didn't have a choice because your mother wasn't going to be too happy with you bringing in low grades.
I just I was a kid that liked school.
Yes.
I tried to instill that in my
He was
grandkids.
outside, but in class.
Outside, but in class.
Yeah, I went to
Some
Right.
of us was just outside,
so
going through high school.
So you mentioned on some of the things that you're doing for children.
Yes.
I didn't like research you, but I know that you did.
As you should. You should have.
but I
Mhm.
saw that you do something with young ladies.
Yes.
Right. So if you want to talk about that a little.
Yes. So I like to provide young ladies the experience. The experience.
I'm cold. I'm cold.
I like
Yeah,
to give
pardon
them, especially young women who live in NYCHA or underserved communities in foster care or in shelters. I like to give them the experience because I don't ever want them to feel like they're a charity case when they come through projects to projects. And a lot of things I do with the young women is things that I wish someone would have did with me. So I took these young women and I wrote to someone. I said, you know what? I want to have breakfast at Tiffany's. And I took these young ladies to breakfast at Tiffany's, and I told someone else that was an organizer, and she has her own organization. I said, you know what? I'm going to take them there. I've never been there. I've been many places, but I've never been there. So now I get to have that experience with them, and then I'm going to buy them a piece of jewelry, the cheapest piece, that whatever the lowest price is, because that's all I could have afford.
Right, but that's good.
And then the young lady, I don't know if she wants me to say her name, but she came. And I'm going to say her name because her name is Therese Myers. She really looked out. She's from Yes Girls Create. And I had the money to purchase all 6 young ladies who are a part of these communities a piece of jewelry. And she had 6 teal bags. And I said, what is that?
Wow.
And she said, no one has ever done this before. I've never seen this done before. You're doing this with such a great heart. And I had just met her literally only 2 weeks ago and told her my vision. And she got every single little girl a nice pendant from Tiffany's, not the small one. She got them the big one.
That's a hell of
And
a gift.
it was,
Yeah,
right?
nice.
But just for them to be in that space. So I also partner with Kendra Scott. It's another jewelry company. And we take the young ladies there so that they can learn how to make jewelry and to let them know that someone cares about them, they are worthy, and that they are loved. And to teach them self-love first.
Right. That's great.
Yes.
Because for many years, my wife, she had a dance in school. So we was running the basketball tournament in the neighborhood.
Mhm.
And my wife, shout out to my wife, Robin, shout out to my daughter, Kadea, the Ask You dancers.
That's
All right. But they had a dancing school on the corner of Rockaway Boulevard and 135th Street.
Mm-hmm.
And it was there for years, until things got crazy, like rent-wise and everything. But, they ran it. So it's important, not just for the young guys, but it's important to give the young ladies something to do as well.
Yes.
And now, with my son, he have female, because he had female teams. I don't know if he have one right now, but he did have a female team. So it's important to give both the young ladies and the young guys, things to do.
But
So-
also, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I also wanted our young ladies to see that we fit in those spaces.
Right.
So the VP for Tiffany's on the administration side is a sister. And she
Okay.
came down and spoke to the young ladies. And I
Good.
wanted them to see we
Wow.
fit in every area, in
Good.
every arena. So don't ever be intimidated by any title or
shouldn't be.
anyone's social economic
Exactly.
status. So, and that
That's
was another
great.
reason I took them so that they can see that we belong
Yeah, that was
everywhere.
very nice.
Yes,
Damn,
he said
that's
very
great.
nice.
No, but I'm saying it's important for them to know
Yes.
because sometimes our people, our young
Live in a
people-
3-block radius.
Yes.
They don't
Right.
get out.
They've
to
never
see
seen
there's
Manhattan.
Another
That's
part
right.
of the world to live
Mhm.
in, yo.
right,
That's right.
and by them seeing the other part
Yes.
and then saying, hey, I'm just as good as that next person,
Yes.
right? I'm
Yes.
just as good as even though people try to knock us down
Mhm.
and say that we're not.
Mm-hmm.
We could be the most educated, and they still try to say that we're not qualified.
That's right.
Right? I'm gonna get in my
That's
politics
true.
today.
That's right. As you should. That's right. That's right.
Right? But I'm
Mhm.
just saying, it's important,
Mhm.
for our people to know that
Mhm.
they
They belong and they are qualified, and
Right.
especially our young men, especially our young Black men. They need to know that someone cares about you. You do matter. Your voice matters, and you need to act accordingly. You are a born leader, and you need to act accordingly.
Right.
So we also took the young men and women back to Tiffany's because they had an art gallery, and they had Basquiat's art exhibits there. So I wanted them to also see we are in art spaces as well, because a lot of times our young men are told, oh, just do sports and that's it. No,
Right.
you can fit in any arena and excel. It's not only sports. Sports, yes, is good,
It's
but
good.
sometimes a lot of our young boys are born with gifts and they just feel like they could just get off and get away
They
with
don't
just their
wanna
gifts.
show 'em.
But if someone else come with that fire in their belly and that's their only meal ticket, they're going to outbeat you every time.
Yeah.
So, and also we had to teach our young men that it's not only sports to get you where you need to get. You can be a doctor and it's okay. You can be an artist and that's okay, and still thrive and make the same amount of money.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. That's very important because I have 3 grandsons.
Mhm.
2 are athletes, and the
Mhm.
other one plays an instrument.
Yes.
And we never would have thought that he'd be
Mhm.
interested in playing an instrument. But I'm going to see one of his shows
See?
next Monday.
And exposure is very important.
You know?
Our children, the more they're exposed to, the more options they know that they have.
And support.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because these peer groups are tough.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you blowing a horn, man?
Yeah. My 9-year-old, he plays the trumpet, and my oldest son, he played the
Really?
saxophone.
That's
yes.
good.
That's
I
good.
used to play the clarinet.
Yeah.
I did
I
too.
played-
That's
I
crazy.
played the-
I played the
played the
clarinet
guitar.
too.
What's the clarinet? That's the
Yeah,
clarinet.
the black
That's
one, the
the-
fake
that's the big
saxophone. The fake
Yeah,
saxophone. And it's the hardest instrument.
They had mad clarinet. You want to play the drums
No.
or trumpet or
No,
saxophone.
the clarinets was left over.
Okay, we're being a little too honest here.
Okay,
One
okay.
of my little cousins. One of my little cousins was on the Jonas high school band. They
Yeah.
played last week at the parade.
Yeah,
They
that's
played at the
Nice.
Super Bowl,
Yeah.
right?
Nice.
So
That's
that's
good.
yeah.
I never had a desire to play no instrument, yo.
I ain't have a desire to do, but
Two
I had
techniques.
but I had to do something. Y'all didn't know Cab was a DJ.
No.
You know Cab from playing ball, right?
I was
Cab-
DJing before rap.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what started with the DJ.
Yeah.
We had a little crew, and I text you. I saw Dahu. We had a little crew.
Dahu. Wow.
We had a little crew in the, before I started really rhyming with my brother.
Yeah.
We had
After
our
he
own
broke
little-
away from us, he didn't want us no more, Brother became of age. He was like, bye, y'all.
Yeah, we started doing shows. I was like, hey, but your goals for the future with
Yes.
okay, so let's talk about that.
So everything that I'm doing and involving myself in with the community, I realized how politics plays a role in our community. Things I didn't know. And I'm a John Jay graduate, and I didn't even understand the importance of local government until I started working there. First, I worked at the senator's office. Then I worked at the assembly's office, and then also through being being an education chair. So my goal now, the reason I'm running for city council, is to make my district better. And because I see I'm on the other side, I understand how legislation affects our community. I understand how policy is written and how it is implemented in our community. I
Now,
didn't know
certain
these things
monies are
before.
distributed.
Right. You see where all the
Yeah.
disbursements go. But then when you're on the other side, you know the side of the constituency, but you also know the side of government. And then you know what you can and what you can't do, but you also know you have colleagues that can assist you in getting things done. So my future is to make it better. People don't understand your local government is your sanitation, it's your education, it's your budgeting, it's the schools, how the schools are being built, you know, whether it's charter, whether it's public, which is very important. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. City jobs, how the collective bargaining looks like, that goes through city. And with me learning all of these things, I'm like, no, this has to be resolved. I'm not going to say resolved, but it needs to a lot of things need to be addressed. And it needs to come from a place where people understand and are empathetic and are sympathetic and have been through it. You don't know what it's like. You know, you go and you swipe, and then you know some people have food insecurity, and they swipe and they don't have any food benefits. You know, and then you're trying to reach HRA and you can't get to them. No, there needs to be a system where government agencies can reach HRA or any agency for that matter for our seniors, you know, for our children as far as education. If we have to get to our superintendents, especially for our children who have special needs, there should be programs set up for our seniors as far as if their roof falls off, if their boiler breaks, especially our children who need assistance with services. We should let them know, let the teachers know, the principals know, hey, you can go to your elected officials and ask for funding. A lot of times they don't know that. A lot of these other programs who are there to assist people with housing don't know that they can go to their elected officials and put in their budget and ask for funding. Even our local nonprofit organizations, they don't know, hey, you can go to your elected officials and ask for funding. And that's where I bridge the gap, because I've been through it already. So I'm like, I know what it's like to go through it as a constituent, and then I know what it's like to provide a solution. So since I've been providing solutions, especially through my nonprofit, people are like, you should run for city council. You would make a great city council member. And I'm like, you know what? I would, but I prayed first about it before I did run. You know, I
So
prayed
you
before
went to
everything.
John Jay.
Yes, I'm a John Jay alumni. Yes, I
lawyer?
am. That was my intent, to be a defensive lawyer, because I have sons, and I'm like, you know what? You need to know judges, lawyers, and stuff like that. And I wind up, it's the way it's aligned itself for me. I wind up still meeting lawyers now, understand legislation and prosecutors and stuff like that. So it still worked out for me. The reason I was going to law school, it still worked out for me in the end, taking this route.
Yeah, that's a powerful world you're in there.
Right.
Yes.
And you never know where things are going to lead you, right?
You never know.
You never know where, because you went to John Jay thinking one thing,
You're right,
but now it's leading you to.
Now, who knows? Trump might appoint you defense secretary.
Never know.
Never know.
Never know.
Never know.
You never
Never
know. But I just see the importance of it, and what I've known now. If I knew 20 years ago, I would have been a fireball.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't understand legislation and how it's written. A lot of times it's confusing, and you need someone to break down the language for you, because it's when you go to court, it's interpretation.
No.
And if it's too general, that's why it's important that when you write legislation, it needs to be very direct in who it's for and what it means. And we also need to make sure we're letting our constituency know, as an elected official, we work for you. It's not the other way around.
Right.
We are here to serve you. We are not here for the photo ops. We are not here just to be superstars or entertainers. We are here to serve the people. But I know Latoya Legrand is here to serve the people, because I've been doing it.
Let me give out the phone number: 516-206-0711. Call in. You got some political questions? Let's hear them.
All right. And
What's up, Jay?
Shout out to Tisha. Shout out to Marion. Shout out to Javon. All right. Leading by example. You know, that's my son. Javon, I was talking to them about coming to the mentoring program, so you can connect with them with that. All right.
Yeah.
So getting that information about what you were talking about, like there's certain places to go.
Yes. If you would like to know who you're, as far as me or just in general.
In general.
If you are looking to see who your elected officials are, you would go online, you would go to Google, and you would say, who is my representative? and then they will ask you to input your address in the search engine, and then it will show you who your state representatives are, your federal, and your city, and also your community board. So anytime you're having an issue, you can always go to your elected official's office. Even if it is the wrong office, they will direct you to the right office and assist you there. Mm-hmm.
So back in the days, we through the community board,
Mm-hmm.
we were like foundation of how they had that fair on Rockaway Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first year, rest in peace, Edith Scott. The first year they did it in the 96 schoolyard.
Mm-hmm.
And then they expanded it from 130th Street to the Van Wyck. Almost 135th Place, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So any thoughts on like bringing something like that back to the neighborhood? Because I don't know if they did it.
What kind of events were taking place?
It was like a street fair from it was like 5 blocks, a street fair.
Well, you can have street fairs. You just have to get your petitions and send the petitions into the mayor's office. Then it comes down to the community board, and then they sign off on it, and then it happens that way. But you have to give yourself time to get the petitions.
Thing is, the community board came to us because they knew we were in the music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they came to us. So that, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like somebody in public office, you know, implementing something like that. You know, like it was done, you know, back in the days.
I'm sure it can be a discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a big block party, man.
Right? Yeah.
But we need to bring block parties back. That's what brought the community together.
But
that's how you knew who
doing
was
a
in your
parade on
community.
Saturday.
They are having a parade on Saturday.
Yeah,
The local church over there.
Rockaway
Yeah.
Boulevard.
Should like
Mhm.
make it a food fest because Boulevard changed. Yo.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
There are a lot of new restaurants
why-
on Rockaway
yeah,
Boulevard.
and
That is
that's why-
true.
And that's it. You know, that's why we.
No, but if they can
need
have,
somebody like
I'm sure, like I said, that can take place because if they're having a Christmas parade on Saturday, I'm sure we can also have something like that redone again or reimagined, I should say.
Okay, so I come to you first because I keep getting ready to call you Ramel.
Call me something. A lot of people know me as Ramel.
Right,
That
all right.
really know me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Ramel,
Yeah.
words of encouragement. Words of encouragement for like anybody that's out there, you know, looking right now.
Words of encouragement for anybody out there.
Let's break that up, man, because
Let's
you
go
got
ahead.
many hats, bro.
Yeah.
Words
A
of
lot.
encouragement as an actor.
As an actor,
Yeah.
it's gonna be universal. I mean, as an actor, be true to yourself, study, and connect, network, and stay committed. Don't take no for an answer. Like people say, oh, you know, they told me I was pipe dreaming and all kind of stuff, but
Then
you know,
and
you have to see,
directing.
you have, and then it applies to anything. You have to believe in yourself and your goal and vision before anybody else can. And from there,
That wraps it all up.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's for anybody with anything.
Okay.
Believe in yourself.
All right. That covered everything.
What you looking at, yo?
I'm looking at you. That covered everything.
Connect with like-minded people, good people too, though. That's
Right.
important to have
Mhm.
a support base. You
Right.
can't do nothing without. You ain't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought I could do it by myself. You all make things. You definitely
that
need
support.
support base, bro.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
watch
Yeah.
Luke Cage
Go watch that.
tonight, bro.
Well,
How about you?
Well, I would say for words of encouragement, I always tell my children, always put God first, and also always trust yourself, trust your intuition. And if you're looking for something to be fulfilled, as you said, volunteering, it does help. It fills a void. You're giving back to your community. You never know who you're going to meet. And you may have an idea that can birth something. It can birth a nonprofit. It can birth a business right there back into your community. So that's what I would say. Stay true to yourself, put God first, and trust yourself. And you know, volunteer at your local organizations that are there, or even with the elected officials. You can go to their office and say, hey, I would just like to volunteer. And you would be amazed at what you would learn.
I'm a little mad at politicians right now.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't consider myself a politician.
No,
I would say
not
I'm an
you.
elected. I would be an elected
Not you.
official
Right.
if I become the candidate.
The
If I
political
win, the city
People who
council.
voted for
candidate.
Trump.
hey, you know, listen. listen, people gonna learn that they shouldn't have done that.
But I
Right.
also would, I would encourage.
Right.
Yeah, we've been through
worse.
We've been
Right.
through him before.
Right.
Listen, man. The way my thing with that though is like what we talking about now. I don't believe in relying solely on politicians,
Right.
Even though they have a duty. But it's like grassroots, like how we were raised. You talking about like we got to depend on ourselves and each other. Man.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember our parents talking about politics.
Nah,
Nah,
man.
man.
I mean,
We
you
did-
know,
we did.
they have a duty though.
But listen,
I don't care who's in there. If it's something, we gonna hold them to it.
right.
You know what I mean? But we just got to get back to the basics.
But we had the Muslim mosque across the bridge by the fish house.
Yeah.
We had the Panthers. Like the Panthers used to bring stuff to my house.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, they was
You need to bring stuff like that back.
You know, so things like that. Those are the people. You know, that's why I went the route that I went. You know, as far as the way I studied when I was younger.
You know,
Right.
I never said this. I never said this. Thank you, though.
All right.
You know, I was a kid wearing Fonzie shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this brother was like, "Yo, man, what the fuck is that, yo?" Wearing Fonzie shirts for? You know? And I said, "Yeah, why am I wearing Fonzie shirts?"
Yeah, because those were the
It was
Happy
an
days.
awakening.
right, but those were
was
the
like that, by
heroes.
the way, back in the day.
Huh?
I met the older brother waiting on the bus years ago. He like around the neighborhood. He said it was like happy days over there back in the day.
Yeah,
But
I was saying I was watching white shows.
Well, you said too, that was the reference.
Well, that's what was
Yeah.
being magnified too. You got to
Yeah,
remember
that
that's
was
what
the
was being on the
That was-
television.
yeah,
That's what they played.
Westerns,
Right.
Yeah, all that.
Westerns and all of that, right?
So I would also tell everyone to make sure that you do vote. It is important. Your local elections are
But-
very
And
important.
that's what I
Your
wanted you-
local, yes,
that's
your
what I want you
local
to get into
elections,
it.
yes,
'Cause
are
some
very
people vote every
important.
4 years.
Yeah,
Some
I
people vote
understand
every
that
4
your
years,
presidency, yes.
you know?
However, your
voted.
local,
I voted.
no. Your local elections are so important. That's where how your air quality, that's where you get your air quality from, your sanitation, your education, your food, your supermarkets, your apartments, residency, how you build senior homes, how you build affordable housing. I don't know what affordable housing is now because it should say low income to me. Because affordable housing could start at 50,000. A lot of people aren't coming out of college making 50,000 a year. So that language needs to be changed. Maybe the AMI needs to be changed. That's the American median income. That needs to be changed. But the reason the local elections are so important because that is directly to your community. Whatever they're putting in legislation, whatever programs are being put out, incentives, initiatives is direct. You're going to be impacted by whatever decision that the elected officials are making for your community. And then, like Edwin said, you as the constituent and the voter, you get to hold them accountable. Oh, you didn't take these speed lights down, or you didn't get our street fixed. Come next election, we're going to see who's in that seat.
You won't be here long.
Right.
But
So you have to hold them accountable. When you need your street lights, you need your stop signs, you need those street bumps,
It's
everything
important.
is so
A lot of people
important.
don't know that, so to making them aware.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why please make sure that you're registered to vote. I don't care which party you want to be a part of, just make sure you're registered to vote. Excuse me?
You have any effect on banks in the neighborhood?
Well, banks are a private entity, and that goes through the federal government. So I'm not
But they
going
do
to
have
provide
different
misinformation.
programs to serve the
Right, but
community.
Right, but I'm not going to provide
Because they
more
really
likely
control
community
that
banks.
money.
So community banks probably would be the ones that will partner with the community and those nonprofit organizations to get resources out to the community that are in need. I would say
But
that.
again, that's comes back to people knowing information and then access.
And that's why I said through volunteering, you can learn these things. So when they have in those resource fairs and you see the banks, you see the health agencies out there, you see people who have basketball organizations or food organizations, everyone is there. So you get to meet all of those people.
Okay.
Yes, but
And one more time, just
Yes.
say how important it is to not just vote every 4 years.
please vote every local election. Your assembly is every 2 years. I believe
Right.
your senate is every 2 years. Your city council is every 4 years. So please make sure that we are voting every 2 years, every 4 years. And if you don't know, you can always call the Board of Elections. Go to Google, look up Board of Elections, and right there you'll see the number, and they will let you know which elections are coming up and if your district representative is up for an election. And also research who your elected officials are. because you want to make sure you're putting in the right person who's really truly going to serve your community. So please make sure that you are registered to vote and know when your city agencies and your state agencies are up for election.
Yeah, registered to vote.
Yes,
Yeah.
please register to vote. Latoya Legrand is saying, make sure you are registered to vote, please.
Listen, because some
You
people,
complain
they
about
just
your
don't-
schools, right?
right? And they just don't vote.
Right.
You know,
We can't
mean,
complain and not be a part of the solution.
Right.
It's not gonna work.
And
You know what I find though? I find a lot of us don't really care.
Yeah.
They don't
feel
care.
defeated,
I
like
asked
they're
around. People was like,
self-defeated,
man, don't
man.
bother me with that stuff, man.
Yeah.
And that's why you need someone like Latoya Legrand who's been through it,
Exactly.
who's had to
Right.
fight. I've had to fight the DOE for my son because he has special needs, and they didn't provide him the free, appropriate public education. I've been through foster care, but ACS doesn't do right by you, and then you have to figure things out on your own when you're transitioning now. I've been in the shelter, so I understand what it's like when you're coming out and you don't know what to do. You don't know where to go, which resources to look to. You don't know what's available to you so that you can thrive in society, because it's not where you start, it's how you finish. And sometimes we're already in despair because we're looking at our situation right where we are and not looking at the goal. But if we had just a little incentive, not incentive, but if we had a little help along the way and we had these resources, access to the resources to help us just a little bit to push us towards our goal, we wouldn't be living in such despair. And then we could have faith in our elected officials and the organizations and city agencies that play a role in our communities. So we need to be that inspiration. And that's why I'm running for city council.
Jack.
No, that's not politician. That's real life. I know what it's like. That's real life. That's real life. I'm sorry, I'm a little loud, but I'm passionate because that's real life.
I'm thinking how many people are learning from you.
Yes,
Right.
because I went through it. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
No criticism.
No, it's okay. Criticism is good.
Criticism.
Criticism
But,
is good. Yes.
All right.
Mm.
So this is Bars and Hoops Radio.
Yes.
This is the AMS show. All right. So we're gonna close out.
Yes.
On a little fun. It's 8:52.
Okay.
We're gonna close out a little fun. So Ramel, your best artist
Come
all
on.
time.
And it better start with an M.
Michael Jackson.
Huh? Michael Jackson. Okay.
He inspired me to do. Michael Jackson was he was an artist, but he's more than just an entertainer. He's a humanitarian.
Mhm.
When I was younger, I had a fake pleather red jacket with zippers.
All right.
I took my father's white garments, I put sprinkled glitter on it, and I was moonwalking in the living room for the family. You know what I'm saying?
That's
real
right.
talk.
I wish I could
You
afford
know what I'm
that.
saying? Yeah.
Your mom filmed that?
Oh, man.
I don't know. But, you know, yeah, of all time.
Better
Michael
hope
Jackson
not,
was
bro. There's no
yeah, I
video.
hope not.
No
Nah.
video.
You know,
Listen.
Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Keep it real.
All right. Best group.
Best group.
Yeah.
It's Jackson 5.
I know your answers. I want to challenge you to give an answer different from what
That was
Best
easy.
group.
Yo, Jackson 5.
Temptations.
Temptations. All right, yeah. And I think the Temptations was the first hip hop group.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Temptations.
sorry, Hurt. Sorry, the mind.
So
and,
it comes from that.
Listen
Folk
to Ball
brothers
of
and all that.
Confusion.
Ball of
If that
Confusion.
ain't rapping,
Word.
what is?
Yeah.
You know, don't get me out. I'll say it right now. No, so you with you, Mr. Gray.
Well, when I was younger, I would say the Delphonics because my grandmother raised me for a little bit of time.
Okay.
And she always would have them and she would take us down. What? My grandmother's 87 years old. We used to go downtown Brooklyn when they used to do those they used to have the what is it called? Downtown Brooklyn when they used to have all of the concerts.
In the
Yes.
park.
Yes.
Yeah.
My grandmother's old school. She'd wake you up in the middle of the night, talk about get up, hammer time, and have me and my brother up there singing and dancing.
The Delphine or the Del?
The Delphonics.
You sure you know the
Delphonics.
La la
It's
la
good,
means
man.
I love you. Like, come on, don't do that. And I can't sing. Come on, don't do me like this. Don't do me like this.
Delphonic. No,
But yes,
Okay. All right. And different. All right. Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson
He's
is
the
all
greatest.
time. Okay,
He's the
Prince.
great Prince. All right. Okay.
I like Prince.
Okay.
if it's Michael
Michael
Jackson, Michael Jackson.
It is Michael Jackson,
So
but he
why
said
you
don't
say
use yours
Yeah.
because he's my second best.
Okay.
No,
Alright.
no. Okay, Whitney
How
Houston.
about hip hop artists?
Hip hop artists?
Yeah. Cause you did the essence of hip hop, you got
Of all time.
one, and then
That's
we
hard.
had the group.
That's hard.
I know, cause you don't want to say it, cause you're good, cause they might.
Well,
if you don't name somebody in your
If
film,
you watch my documentary, but I'll tell you that, they said it started 73 or whatever.
Mhm.
But really hip hop is connected to the origins is like African spirituality, or what they call Negro spirituality. But it's soul
Edwin,
music,
he
jazz,
said, "Who
funk
is
music,
your favorite
you know?
rap artist of all time?"
I have
He
to
needs
say-
to be a politician. That's a politician answer. That's a politician answer. That's what I'm saying. That's the politician answer.
So me, I consider like somebody like James Brown. That's hip hop.
oh, listen,
Okay.
everybody sample James Brown.
Yeah, that's hip-hop.
Everybody sample
That's
James
true.
Brown.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I said the Temptation. You
I-
ain't going with it, Tiny. You good?
Rap
You
Rap
good?
artist. You get specific. Rap artist. He ain't gonna let me go. You supposed to be looking at Come on. Rap artist. Growing up though, I'll say like Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
Kane.
Kane is nice.
Okay.
How about with you?
Biggie Smalls.
Smalls.
B.I.G.
Yeah.
Biggie.
Can't go wrong with Biggie.
Dad, you was in the Biggie movie. You ain't say Biggie.
Nah, because Biggie was influenced by Big
And-
Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
And God allow me to win, I'm gonna
Mr.
be singing
Discover,
Juicy.
Mr. C came off
You remember
tour
the
with
rap
Kane.
song
Yeah,
Juicy?
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be that one.
Present day.
Biggie.
Present day.
Present day?
Rap.
Do you know?
I don't like nothing.
You know what it is? It's the frequency, it's the music.
It's different.
It's the frequency and it's digital.
Yeah.
Back in the days, we still had
a
our
vibe.
instruments, so
Yeah,
the
it really
frequency
was
is
a
off. It
frequency.
doesn't
When
go
we
with
used to do
our
music, we used to
natural.
white label
but-
stuff. We had to send it to master, and they put it on a frequency. It's really
Yeah.
a frequency for real.
So I
Right
can't
now,
really relate to
Oh,
the yeah.
It's low frequency.
It's too low. Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, somebody like that's still surviving is like and still impacting. To me, is like Nas.
I would say
I see him
Lupe.
still.
Lupe.
Yeah, I would say Lupe.
Lupe Fiasco.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Nas
Well,
still new.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for
This
having
was
us, bro.
Thank
because normally we have just ball players coming.
Yeah.
We have ball players. We have
Yeah.
some people. We have the old school hip hop people coming.
Uh-huh.
So
I used to play basketball. I went to
Yeah,
Christ
you
the
did?
King.
You played? You played?
No, I didn't know that. Christ the King had their ball team from 7th grade. I went in 10th grade. I was like, oh, forget it.
I got my brother Hugh up here. Hugh, right? He
Okay.
played on the fam team and all that.
Oh, he
He
played.
to come today too.
Oh, word. He's
Yeah.
supposed to come.
He played
Then
Shaw,
next week-
A-Jack,
next week-
Bob and all that.
Next week we're gonna have the Backstreet team.
Mm.
We're gonna have the Backstreet team
Yeah,
from across the
He
bridge.
from over there, like he from behind Rockaway.
yeah, we're gonna have them
Word.
come on next week.
He played with all them.
You know.
Nazi and all them.
Okay.
Mike Smooth and all them.
Yeah, because
I
Mike,
like
you
that.
know we had Mike Smooth
Yeah.
up here.
Nah, I ain't
We had
know
Mike,
that.
we had Mike Smooth
Y'all
and,
gotta
and
get my
Ella
brother. Y'all what's
Escalator Edge
What's
up
up with my
there.
man Khaled Reeves? Y'all brought him up here?
Nah, man,
He ain't up in town, man.
Nah, I get it.
Yeah,
I
you
thought we got come through.
Yeah.
You gotta get Khaled to talk.
Yeah, Khaled. You
Khaled.
Khaled talk.
Khaled.
Yeah,
Khaled
Khaled.
talk.
Yeah. Nah, he talk though.
Yeah. But Khaled was really like the first pro from the hood.
No.
He was really the first one from our
Yeah,
hood.
y'all need him.
All
from
right,
our hood.
so we gotta.
I was
so-
coming in the game. I was a teenager when he played for the Nets. I'm
Yeah.
46.
Yeah,
So I seen it.
but then when you see Tiny be on TV and they be having the music start, you know, so that means like we gotta start rapping.
He turning it up. He's like, all right, let's wrap this up, buddy. Time to go, Gio.
Again,
Thank you for
y'all
having
coming.
me.
Thank
I
y'all for coming.
appreciate it.
This is definitely a movie. Right, that'll be great.
Absolutely.
That'll be great.
June 24th, 2025, City Council, District 28, Latoya Legrand.
Okay. All right.
Give out your social media again.
Yeah.
Oh, Latoya Legrand on Facebook, and as far as my nonprofit, it's Projects #2 Projects on Instagram, and Latoya D Great on Facebook.
Okay.
Me, Sir Edwin Freeman, all across the board. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Okay.
Connect with me.
Okay. All right. Peace, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. We love y'all. Peace.
Ready? In stream.